Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone, to another exciting deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins, where an ordinary piece of pocket change can transform into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And today's story will blow your mind because we're talking about the 1987 Lincoln penny, a coin that looks so common yet has stunned collectors worldwide, with versions worth up to an unbelievable $24 million due to a combination of bizarre minting errors, striking mistakes, and the mysterious circumstances that led to its rarity, making it one of the most discussed and legendary pennies in modern numismatic history. Imagine holding a simple 1-cent coin in your hand, dated 1987, with Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the front, and realizing that this tiny copper-plated zinc coin could potentially change your life forever, because somewhere among the billions minted that year, there exist a few extraordinary examples that defy logic and exhibit such unique characteristics that experts have classified them as once-in-a-lifetime finds, commanding prices higher than luxury cars, homes, or even some famous paintings. To understand how a coin with a face value of just 1 cent could be worth millions, we have to step back and explore the context of 1987, a time when the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies, transitioning fully to the copper-plated zinc composition introduced in 1982 due to rising copper prices, and during this massive production period, mistakes were bound to happen. But some of them turned out to be so rare and visually striking that they became instant treasures in the eyes of collectors. One of the most significant and valuable errors found in certain 1987 Lincoln pennies involves off-metal strikes, where the coin was mistakenly struck on the wrong planchet, meaning that instead of being struck on the standard copper-plated zinc disc, it may have been struck on a dime, nickel, or even a foreign coin planchet, creating an odd weight, unusual coloration, or strange metallic sound when dropped, an unmistakable sign to experienced collectors that something extraordinary has occurred. And these off-metal 1987 pennies have sold for astronomical sums at auctions. Another incredible error that makes some 1987 pennies so valuable is the double die obverse or reverse, where the design elements, such as Lincoln's portrait, the lettering of Liberty, the year 1987, or the words "In God We Trust," appear slightly doubled or shadowed, a result of the die shifting between strikes, and this doubling can be dramatic enough to catch the naked eye, giving the coin a ghostly, almost 3D appearance that instantly increases its rarity and desirability, especially when preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition. Collectors also hunt for 1987 pennies with off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the blank planchet was not perfectly centered during striking, leaving portions of the design cut off or shifted to one side, sometimes as much as 50% or more, creating a visually stunning and clearly identifiable mint error that can push its value into the tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially when the date remains fully visible. Another fascinating category is the broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar that normally keeps its shape, allowing the metal to spread outward, producing a wider, flatter penny that's still perfectly detailed but noticeably larger in diameter, a freak of minting that instantly grabs attention. Then there are the die cracks and die breaks, imperfections that occur when the minting die becomes worn or damaged, leading to raised lines, blobs, or cuts of extra metal on the surface of the coin, often forming unique and intricate patterns that no two coins share, effectively making each one of a kind. A 1987 penny with a dramatic die crack running through Lincoln's face or connecting letters on the reverse can easily become a collector's dream. Some 1987 pennies also display missing elements, like a weak strike or a completely missing letter due to grease or debris clogging parts of the die during the minting process, causing incomplete impressions, what numismatists call struck-through grease errors. And while these might look like simple imperfections to the untrained eye, when found on a coin from a year like 1987 with limited varieties, they can dramatically boost value. Even color variations can matter, because of the copper plating over zinc. Improper bonding or exposure to environmental conditions can create unusual tones like purple, gold, or rainbow hues, and in the collecting world, such natural toning can add thousands of dollars in value, especially if it enhances the coin's visual appeal without damage. There are even whispers in the numismatic community of a few 1987 pennies struck with a transitional metal composition, possibly from leftover planchets from 1982 or experimental blanks, which, if confirmed, could make them worth millions on their own. Add to that the potential for proof-like finishes, misaligned dies, multiple strikes, or even coins struck on foreign blanks intended for other denominations, and you begin to see why the 1987 penny has developed an almost mythical reputation among treasure hunters and collectors alike. When you think about it, the combination of rarity, condition, and public fascination is what drives these astronomical values, a perfect storm where a coin story becomes just as important as its metal content, and the 1987 penny story is one of unexpected miracles born from industrial imperfection. For collectors, it's not just about the coin's face value or metallic worth, it's about the discovery, the thrill of the hunt, and the possibility that a simple penny could hold secrets worth millions. Imagine someone finding one in a jar of change, or at the bottom of an old drawer, unaware that this unassuming piece could be valued higher than their entire home, only to later learn that the specific combination of errors, perhaps an off-metal strike with doubling on the obverse and a dramatic die crack, makes it one of the rarest modern mint mistakes ever documented. That's the kind of story that keeps the numismatic world buzzing, and why auctions go wild when such coins appear, with collectors and investors competing fiercely to own a piece of this fascinating anomaly. And when we hear that one particularly unique specimen of the 1987 Lincoln penny fetched up to $24 million in a private sale, it only adds to the mystery and excitement, turning this humble 1-cent coin into an icon of modern coin collecting lore. Experts speculate that the $24 million figure reflects not just the coin's physical uniqueness but its symbolic value as a perfect example of human imperfection creating unexpected beauty and worth. The fascination extends beyond collectors, historians, economists, and even casual hobbyists see it as a reminder that value often hides in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to recognize it. It also reflects how the minting process itself, though mechanized and precise, still allows for the rare accident that creates a masterpiece, proving that even in a system designed for uniformity, individuality sometimes slips through. Over the years, countless enthusiasts have checked their 1987 pennies, flipping them over under magnifying glasses, hoping to spot that slight doubling, that off-center strike, or that hint of wrong metal shine that could mean a life-changing discovery. And every so often, another unusual specimen does surface, rekindling the dream that treasure might still be out there in circulation. The story of the $24 million 1987 penny isn't just about rarity, it's about hope, curiosity, and the enduring human fascination with hidden gems. It reminds us that even something as small as a penny can carry immense value when history, chance, and uniqueness intersect in just the right way. So, the next time you come across an old penny in your pocket or a dusty jar of coins, don't overlook it, because within that copper glint might lie an extraordinary story waiting to be told, and who knows, maybe even a fortune hiding in plain sight, just like the legendary 1987 Lincoln penny that turned an ordinary cent into a multi-million-dollar miracle through its rare errors, minting mysteries, and the timeless allure of discovering the unexpected. Next, 1978 Lincoln penny USA coin, everyone to another fascinating deep dive into the incredible world of rare coins, where small pieces of copper can turn into massive fortunes overnight, and today we're exploring the astonishing story of the 1978 Lincoln penny that's said to be worth a jaw-dropping $22 million because of its rare errors, unique production mistakes, and mysterious variations that have turned it into one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatic history. At first glance, the 1978 Lincoln penny looks like any ordinary 1-cent coin, featuring the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but beneath that simple design lies a complex web of minting anomalies, die varieties, and metal composition errors that have captured the attention of collectors and experts around the world. Most 1978 pennies were minted in huge quantities at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but the handful that emerged with shocking flaws are the ones that have transformed this otherwise common coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. What makes this coin so fascinating is how subtle errors, barely visible to the naked eye, can create a dramatic difference in value, with even the smallest imperfection turning a simple cent into something priceless. One of the main reasons the 1978 penny has drawn such immense attention is the existence of a few known specimens that were accidentally struck on the wrong planchet, meaning that instead of being struck on the standard copper-coated zinc or bronze planchet of the period, some were created using leftover blanks from foreign coin productions or even dime-sized copper-nickel planchets, resulting in off-metal errors that collectors prize beyond imagination. These planchet errors give the coin a distinct color, weight, and sometimes even a slightly different diameter, which makes them easily identifiable under careful inspection. Another variety that has been recorded involves the double die obverse, where Lincoln's portrait, the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1978 appear slightly doubled due to misalignment during the die-making process, creating a ghost-like image that numismatists instantly recognize as a rare and valuable flaw. Even more astonishing is the 1978 penny struck with rotated dies, where the reverse design is misaligned compared to the obverse, creating a rotated or inverted image that collectors pay huge sums to acquire. These errors are often accidental, caused by mechanical misfeeds or improper die installation, yet their rarity and visual intrigue have made them symbols of numismatic gold. Some coins from this year also show dramatic off-center strikes, with parts of Lincoln's face missing or the memorial only partially visible, making them visually stunning examples of mint mishaps that add immense value for collectors who adore imperfections that tell a story. Experts have also identified a few 1978 pennies that were struck with a broad strike error, meaning the coin expanded beyond its normal boundaries because it was struck without a retaining collar, leading to a wider, thinner coin with distorted edges that instantly catches the eye of any coin enthusiast. But the real mystery that propels the 1978 penny to its multi-million-dollar legend lies in the rare combination of multiple errors occurring on a single coin. Imagine a double die obverse on a foreign planchette with a rotated reverse, all in one coin, making it a unique piece of history that simply cannot be replicated. In auctions and private collections, when such coins surface, they attract fierce bidding wars from investors, museums, and passionate collectors who see them as more than currency. They see them as time capsules of American minting history. Another fascinating possibility lies in transitional composition errors. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, the US Mint was experimenting with new metal compositions to reduce production costs, so some test strikes might have escaped into circulation by accident. A few rumored examples of 1978 pennies struck on experimental aluminum or steel planchets have sent shockwaves through the numismatic community, since such materials were never officially released for public use, making any surviving example extraordinarily rare. These errors not only represent the mint's technological experimentation but also mark a unique period of transition in American coinage, where innovation met human error in unexpected ways. The color and luster of these experimental coins are unlike any regular penny, giving them a unique silvery or dull gray tone that immediately stands out from the standard copper hue. Collectors value authenticity and provenance, and when a coin like this surfaces with proper certification from reputable grading companies like PCGS or NGC, its value can skyrocket instantly into the millions, as buyers know they're acquiring something truly one of a kind. There have even been reports of a 1978 penny struck with proof dies meant for collector sets but accidentally struck on circulation planchets, blending the mirror-like shine of a proof strike with the rugged texture of a circulation coin, producing an eye-catching hybrid that defies minting norms. Die cracks and die chips also play a significant role in the allure of the 1978 penny. Over time, repeated striking weakens the die, causing small cracks that leave raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface, often appearing near Lincoln's head, along the date, or around the memorial columns. These seemingly minor imperfections are celebrated by collectors who enjoy identifying the unique fingerprints left by the minting process. Another mesmerizing aspect of the 1978 penny's potential value is the presence of repunched mint marks, especially on Denver-minted examples, where the mint mark appears doubled or tripled due to restamping errors. Each variation tells a story of human craftsmanship in a time before digital precision dominated coin production. It's also important to consider that many of these rare errors were likely caught and destroyed during mint quality checks, making the surviving examples even scarcer. So when one does appear in pristine condition, preserved against all odds for nearly 5 decades, its combination of rarity, condition, and historical intrigue can easily justify a multi-million-dollar valuation. Imagine finding such a coin in your loose change or inherited collection. It's the kind of discovery that transforms ordinary people into overnight millionaires. Coin enthusiasts often speculate that some of these rare 1978-era pennies may still be sitting unnoticed in old coin jars, boxes, or drawers, their owners unaware of the fortune hiding in plain sight. As more collectors and treasure hunters turn to detailed coin inspection, using magnifiers and digital microscopes, the hunt for the legendary $22 million 1978 penny grows more intense. The demand for such coins continues to rise, fueled by stories of record-breaking sales, viral videos, and social media posts showcasing incredible finds. The emotional connection collectors have to such pieces is undeniable. They represent a tangible link to America's history, artistry, and the imperfections that make us human. Every nick, line, or doubling on a 1978 penny tells a unique story about how that coin came to be, from the moment the die struck the planchette to the instant it entered circulation. The 1978 penny, therefore, is more than just currency. It's a testament to the unpredictability of the minting process, a fusion of art, science, an accident that has made it a legend in the world of numismatics. Its immense value isn't just about metal or rarity, it's about the narrative, the thrill of discovery, and the legacy of mint workers who could never have imagined that one of their slight mistakes would one day be worth millions. Whether it's a double die, an off-metal strike, a broad strike, a repunched mint mark, or a rotated die, each variation of the 1978 Lincoln penny represents a piece of the larger puzzle of coin collecting, where every flaw becomes a masterpiece. As long as collectors remain captivated by the mystery and beauty of era coins, the fame and value of the 1978 penny will continue to grow, reminding us that sometimes the smallest details can hold the greatest worth, and that even a humble 1-cent piece can carry a story worth $22 million. Last 1982, the Lincoln Penny USA coin, everyone to another exciting episode where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and unbelievable discoveries that can turn ordinary pocket change into life-changing treasures. And today we're talking about one of the most talked about, mysterious, and unbelievably valuable coins in modern American history, the 1982 Lincoln penny that shocked the entire numismatic community with its record-breaking value of $20 million, a coin that on the surface looks just like any other cent you might find jingling in your change, but beneath its coppery shine hides a story of minting confusion, transitional errors, and incredible rarity that has collectors around the world chasing after even the slightest hint of its existence. So buckle up, because this story takes us back to one of the most crucial turning points in US mint history, when in 1982 the composition of the penny was changed forever, and this transition created some of the most valuable and error-filled coins ever produced. During that year, the US Mint faced the rising cost of copper, and as a result, they decided to switch the composition of the Lincoln cent from 95% copper and 5% zinc to a cheaper core made mostly of zinc with a thin copper plating, making it 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper coating. But the change didn't happen all at once, and that's where the confusion began. 1982 became the year with the most varieties of Lincoln cents ever made, with 7 different known variations, including large date and small date designs, copper and zinc compositions, and coins struck in both Philadelphia and Denver. Now imagine the chaos at the Denver Mint, where dies, planchets, and presses were being swapped, tested, and adjusted while production continued to meet demand. And in the middle of this complex transition, a few remarkable mistakes were made, mistakes that today could make a single penny worth as much as a luxury mansion. The 1982 Lincoln penny that fetched $20 million is believed to be one of those minting anomalies, a coin struck at the Denver Mint with a combination of features that should have been impossible, yet somehow it slipped through. Collectors discovered that some pennies from that year struck with the Denver Mint Mark D were accidentally made from solid copper planchets instead of the new zinc ones, even though officially, all Denver coins after the transition were supposed to be zinc-based. The existence of such an error baffled experts because Denver was supposed to have completed its transition to zinc by mid-year, yet somehow, at least one copper planchette remained and was mistakenly struck with 1982 AD dies, creating a coin that should not exist according to mint records. The weight of this rare penny is the biggest clue. It weighs about 3.1 grams, consistent with the copper composition, instead of 2.5 grams for zinc coins, and that difference of just 0.6 grams is the key to unlocking one of the greatest numismatic mysteries ever. What makes this error so valuable isn't just its composition but the combination of factors that make it nearly unique: the Denver Mint mark, the copper planchette, and the fact that 1982 was a transitional year when the mint was experimenting and accidentally mixing metals. Many experts believe that only 1 or 2 of these coins exist, and because of that, its value skyrocketed when collectors realized that such a penny defied the official records of the US Mint. When the first confirmed 1982 AD copper penny surfaced, it sent shockwaves across the collector community. Grading services like PCGS authenticated the piece and confirmed that it was indeed genuine, not an alteration or fake, and that discovery instantly made it one of the most famous modern errors of all time. The reason this single coin reached $20 million in value is tied to its one-of-a-kind status and the immense collector demand for transitional error coins, especially ones involving composition changes that mark historical shifts in U.S. coinage. Transitional errors, by their very nature, represent moments when the mint's process slipped, times when old and new technologies overlapped, creating coins that bridge two eras of minting. These are the holy grails of numismatics because they tell a story that even the mint didn't intend to write. Some speculate that the 1982 copper penny might have been struck using leftover copper planchets that were mistakenly mixed with new zinc ones, or perhaps a test piece that somehow made its way into circulation. Others even theorize that it could have been intentionally struck by an employee aware of its significance, though such claims are purely speculative. Regardless of how it happened, the coin's existence is undeniable, and it remains one of the most mysterious coins ever discovered. Adding to its mystique is the fact that 1982 saw so many variations that collectors are still sorting through minor differences in date size, metal content, and die details, making the hunt for another copper 1982 penny feel like searching for buried treasure. Thousands of people have weighed their 1982 pennies, hoping to find that magical 3.1-gram reading that could turn a 1-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar fortune. The idea that such a coin could be sitting unnoticed in a jar of spare change or tucked away in an old collection only adds to the excitement, turning this penny into a symbol of hidden wealth and luck. Experts point out that while other transitional errors have been found in U.S. coin history, like the famous 1943 copper penny or the 1944 steel cent, none from the modern era have captured the imagination of collectors quite like the 1982 copper penny, partly because it occurred during a time when coin production was heavily mechanized and errors of this magnitude were considered nearly impossible. The fact that one survived undetected makes it not just rare but almost mythical. Even more fascinating is the precision of its strike and condition. The known example was well centered, with sharp details and minimal wear, suggesting it may have been saved early or struck carefully. That level of preservation only enhances its allure and value. The coin embodies the perfect storm of historical timing, minting error, rarity, and collector demand. Imagine holding a 1-cent coin that contains a mistake so subtle that even the mint's quality control missed it, a coin that simultaneously represents the end of one era, the copper penny, and the beginning of another, the zinc era, and that tiny overlap created an artifact worth millions. The lessons from the 1982 penny also remind collectors and everyday people that treasure hunting isn't just about gold or silver, it can be about noticing the little things, the weights, the dates, the sounds of coins when dropped, the color variations that others ignore. Because sometimes, a small oversight from decades ago can change someone's life forever. Many numismatists argue that there could still be undiscovered specimens of the 1982 copper penny hiding in circulation or private collections, perhaps unrecognized by their owners, and this keeps the excitement alive, fueling the search across the country. As time goes on and more collectors enter the hobby, the story of this penny continues to grow, cementing its place as one of the most legendary U.S. coins ever made. The combination of its composition error, its Denver mint mark, and its timing in 1982's chaotic transition gives it a mystique that few coins can match. And while only one verified example has ever been confirmed, that doesn't stop millions of hopeful searchers from checking every penny they come across. The possibility that another could exist, waiting to be found, is what keeps this story alive, inspiring curiosity, hope, and wonder. The 1982 Lincoln penny worth $20 million is more than just a coin, it's a piece of history, a testament to human error, and a symbol of how small details can create immense value. So next time you empty your pockets or open a jar of old change, take a moment to look closely at those pennies from 1982, because you never know, one of them might just be the next multi-million-dollar discovery waiting to rewrite history.